What's up, TSG Combat here, and before I get started with today's video, I want to thank Thunder so very much for allowing me to upload to this channel, and I appreciate everything you do for us small commentators and small YouTubers. Thunder, thank you so much for allowing us an outlet to be able to put our content to a bigger audience, so thank you for that. And now onto the topic of today's video, which is all about map design and how I feel that map design has been one of the biggest Achilles heels of Call of Duty recently and how real bad it's been. And I don't see a lot of YouTube commentators really talking about how bad the map design has been and how it might be contributing to the fall of Call of Duty. And I think it all starts with Call of Duty Ghosts, where those maps were terrible, and the community was talking about it because it seemed the maps were designed for 12-on-12 gameplay, not 6v6, which Call of Duty was known for. The maps were very slow and boring and wasn't high-octane energy like the other Call of Duty games. You know, that was one of the things that Black Ops 2 had going for it. All the maps were fast, high octane, high energy, and had a lot of flow and direction to them. And it seemed that with Call of Duty Ghosts, that just stopped. Yet people in the community were still talking about how bad the maps were, and it seemed that every DLC we got, they focused on saying how close quarters the maps were going to be, and how fast-paced the maps were going to be for Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, for me, I don't have any of the DLC maps for Ghosts, and really any of the DLC maps for Call of Duty in general, but from the launch maps alone, Ghosts was a failure, especially in the map design department. Then we get Advanced Warfare, and Advanced Warfare went bold by giving us this new advanced movement system that gave us a jetpack that allowed us to go and scale buildings vertically faster than we ever had before in Call of Duty, which changed map design and map play altogether, made it more chaotic, more random. But the problem was the map design was still very basic and very true to the roots of Call of Duty, and never seemed to move with the direction the game was going in. It would have been cool to see some different design elements put into Advanced Warfare and their map design. I do believe that Advanced Warfare missed an opportunity to really change this franchise, and maybe not for the better, but at least differentiate their game from the other games. Instead, it's just junk. A lot of people forget Advanced Warfare like it didn't happen, it was a bad dream. That this change that was supposed to be so innovative and different just didn't resonate or work with fans. And I think that if the map design had reflected the type of innovation they did to the movement system, it could have been a completely different game. It could have rid on the coattails of what Black Ops 2 did with competitive gameplay. Instead, it didn't. The maps weren't competitive, the maps weren't that well done. And because of those reasons, Advanced Warfare was a failure. But luckily for Advanced Warfare, their map design doesn't get a lot of ridicule, a lot of flack, because the game takes a lot of flack for its advanced movements and for the supply drop system. But I think the advanced movements would have resonated better with fans if the map design had reflected those movements. Instead, they just added more verticality to the maps, and that seemed to be it. That's all they really wanted to do, it seemed, which was disappointing to say the least. It seemed that Black Ops 3, though, tried to change it up at least a little bit, make the maps a little bit different, and try to at least integrate their new movement systems and mechanics into their maps, creating lanes just for wall running, creating areas just for swimming. And that was cool and it works, but it's still not that great. It's almost like they could have made it more seamless, made it better. You know, I look at Titanfall 2, probably, in my opinion, one of the best shooters on the market right now, and they found a way to integrate all their movement mechanics seamlessly into one another. It seems everywhere on a map you can wall run, and it doesn't seem forced. It doesn't seem like you just have one pathway where you have to wall run that could lead to a map fatality. And that's one thing I don't like about Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare for that matter, that you have areas of the map where you just can die for a missed wall run, or you run into another player on a wall run and there you go, there's a death for you. And to me, it's frustrating. Sure, it doesn't happen every game, probably once in every 10 games, but it is still frustrating when it happens. I think it happens more in Infinite Warfare, but regardless of that, it's something that doesn't need to be in Call of Duty. You don't need to force players to use wall run. You should be able to design the maps so that the wall run is used as a flanking route, or as a route taken by players who know the maps a little bit more, increase the map knowledge, make that skill gap a little bit larger, which is something that Call of Duty doesn't want to talk about nowadays because they want to lessen that skill gap, not widen it. But it'd be better if the wall run was used as a skill gap differential, where, you know, knowing the map a little bit better than the guy you're playing against will get you in a more advantageous position. Unfortunately, Black Ops 3 doesn't have that. Unfortunately, Black Ops 3 doesn't use that and utilize that to its best potential. I don't like the fact that certain lanes are just for wall running, like that one lane on Combine that you have to wall run. You're hooped, you're out of luck if someone's on the other end. And I don't like that. I wish I had a fair fight. I wish I had the ability to, fight with that guy. I also don't like what they did with Skyjacked, where they essentially took that entire, balcony or deck lane away and just made it a blowout area where you have to wall run to maneuver around it. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it's shoehorned in. Hunted is a great map because there are those flanking routes that give you advantageous positions. And there are also no forced wall run areas. And I think wall running does make this map better. I think this is probably the best map in the game because it utilizes all the new mechanics that Black Ops 3 has to offer and at least packages it up nicely and makes it work well. It's the best map in the game because it integrates all the new things that Black Ops 3 has to offer seamlessly. And for that, it needs to be commended. And I would love to see Hunted return in a new Call of Duty one of these days, whether it's Black Ops 4 or whenever. I'd love to see it return because it's the first map that integrates all the new movement mechanics into one. And I believe that Infinite Warfare suffers from a lot of the same problems that Black Ops 3 suffers with the shoehorning in of certain mechanics like wall running into every single map, where it seems that to traverse a lot of the maps in this game and to enter these random flank areas, you need to wall run where you can die if you miss the wall run, which I never understand. Because there's a lot of different aspects of this game where you have to wall run to different areas, and if you die, well, then you got to restart all over again and then get to the same spot again, then to wall run again, and it feels like the movement in general just isn't as seamless, and for whatever reason, the wall running in this game just doesn't work. The map design and the map look in general is just garbage, very messy, chaotic, and then the map look overall is very bland. A lot of the maps look the same. There's, I think, 3 maps in the game that are on Mars or outer space that all look the exact same. And I couldn't tell you the difference between them. There's zero map flow in those, and they just don't look very good, and they're not appealing to the eye. Whereas Terminal, the game's best map, actually integrates everything very, very seamlessly and very well. I gotta commend them for that. They did a very good job of remastering and remaking Terminal to make it the best map in Infinite Warfare, in my opinion. I might be wrong, maybe you guys like Genesis, but once again, remake of an old map. It seems that those old maps work okay if you actually can learn how to integrate the new mechanics into them. I think that the new mechanics aren't as much of a step back as everyone thinks they are. I just think the map design hasn't been able to move forward with them. I thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more from me, go down in the description, go hit the link to my channel, and it'll take you to more videos there. Thank you once again, Thunder, for allowing me to upload to this channel. Until next time, guys, Combat signing off. Peace.